How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be diving into some live Legend League attacks using Fireball into Rock Balloons, and as you can see, I've been resetting at around top 200 lately on both of my accounts, and I've been testing out the minion prints, and I've also made a little bit of an adjustment to my standard Fireball Rocketloon army, which I will show in today's video. But as you see, I've been averaging around 290, I would assume 290 on offense on one of my accounts where I've been primarily using the Royal Champion, and I guess a little bit less on my other account. Now, I did get a 249 the other day, and this is an actual score, so it does happen, and I was using the Royal Champion. Those days do happen, just to show you guys that you shouldn't feel bad about it. It does happen to the best of us, and yeah, without any further ado, let's jump into the first attack. So first up, we have double poison base, and most of these bases are going to be double poison because double poison is the meta at the moment. Here, looking at it, I mean, I always try to take out the CC if I can, if it offers value. And here, you know, fireballing the Inferno Tower will get you the Crusher Mortar. So since it's 4 tiles away from the Inferno, so I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to fireball that Inferno Tower. Haven't yet checked for Flame Flinger value, and that's one thing that I haven't been really scouting for Flame Flinger value at the start of the attack. I would rather have, you know, a really nice plan for my Fireball and the pathing that the Warden will take afterwards, rather than, you know, using the 30 seconds to scout for Flame Flinger value. Usually, I scout for Flame Flinger. If I don't see it immediately, I would scout it, you know, as soon as I deploy the Warden, because he does have some time here. You see, like, he's been coasting for 30 seconds at this point, and I would have had more than enough time to scout for that Flame Flinger up top. I did find it pretty much as soon as I deployed the Warden. So yeah, the Warden is going to do his thing. The Flame Flinger is going to do its thing. And if the Flame Flinger takes out 2 major defenses, this is how I look at it. If the Flame Flinger is going to take out, you know, the Ricochet and the Multi-Arch Tower up top, that's good enough value. And one small difference that I made is I've been trying out the Yetis in the CC. So very nice fireball. Actually, I went for the, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make a difference, right? Because you're still getting the Crusher Mortar down, but I did go for the Sweeper. But one thing that I did make a change to is right now I'm bringing 3 Yetis instead of the 4 Super Minions. I have been testing out, and honestly, I do find the Yetis a little bit better. Just because they do survive for quite a bit longer, and the Yeti might go for defenses, you know, as soon as the Yetis get damaged. Which is quite nice. And the only downside that I see here, I'm also doing a hero dive because the Warden chose to go right, so I'm going to start my hero dive on the left side. The only downside I see to Yetis is they cannot target the minion prince, so if you place the Flame Flinger kind of in the minion prince area, he's just going to deal with them no problem, and they're not going to be able to fight back. So you might want to add a Headhunter. Also, another small downside here, I do an invis, by the way, to redirect the king, because he was being mad stupid, like just going all the way around for no reason. So I had to redirect him to get the earthquake boots ability off, so that my queen could reach the town hall. But yeah, as I was saying, the other downside to Yetis is their survivability can be, you know, can bite you in the ass, because if they survive for way too long, the Warden might start following them. So just be careful there, but otherwise they do survive for way longer, and if you can funnel them with minions or, you know, any kind of cleanup troops that you have, like archers, if you can funnel them into an area, they can get really good value. But here, they just went around and, well, we weren't needing their value anyways, so we got a really nice triple, a little bit of close on time, but yeah, that's just how it is. Okay, so here we run into Ace, and this was a few days ago. He was running this double poison base, and, well, I identified pretty much straight away that I'm going to fireball the Inferno Tower, because the Inferno Tower will get me the Crusher Mortar as well, since it's 4 tiles separated from it. And at that point, I was kind of looking for Flame Flinger value, and I found some at the very bottom here, making sure to test for these Teslas, because there's a lot of dead space. Another thing that I should have done here, and you'll see in a second, if I should have placed a goblin or something in that area, some ground troop in that area, because as you will see in a second, I placed down my Flame Flinger, and you see it got caught 2 spring traps and lost almost all of its HP. So I did get quite lucky that it was only 2, not 3. But yeah, if you see this dead space, just make sure to scout, send in a few goblins or an archer or something like that to just kind of try to trigger at least 1 or 2 spring traps. That way your flame flinger can get good value. But yeah, we are going into the double X-bow range. So I did rage up the warden. It's, I think, justified for the amount of defenses that were in that area to just rage him up. And he'll get through all of that relatively quickly. We do get a partial CC pull, so no worries there. We do have a poison for the furnace. And at this point, I mean, the fireball was pretty much set up here. I do double invis. Very, very nice fireball. Gets really good value. The flame flinger got popped way too early. I was hoping, as I said, to try to get 3 major defenses down. But yeah, it's okay. Like 2 major defenses is still fine, as I was saying beforehand. And here, the warden chooses to go to the bottom, so send your hero dive from the side where he does not want to go. And yeah, this is a pretty much straightforward fireball into Rocketloon attack. You have, well, you send in your hero dive at 1 minute 30, and you should have no trouble when it comes to time. Just make sure you keep the warden alive, and here, he is going to face the monolith plus the minion prince at the same time, so you have to be very careful not to lose him, because he will go down in a split second if you're not prepared for it. And yeah, also having the queen ability popped, as soon as that happens, usually I just drop an invisibility on top of her just to try to preserve the queen clone health. Here, I popped the RC ability a little bit too late, probably, and yeah, lost the warden because I did not time the headhunters well enough. But to be honest, it's all good. We still have the royal champ that still throwing rocket spears, and yeah, very nice triple on ace. Alright, so this base is a very common one in Legends, and this is a little bit of a tweaked version. Now, usually there's a defense where this Dark Elixir storage is, and if you see that version of the base, just fireball that defense, and it's going to get you the CC. This version does not allow that. So, as I was saying, I try to go for the CC if I can. So here, multi-gear tower is the next best choice, and I'm going to go for it. I'm also going to set up a flame flinger at 12, which honestly almost kind of cost me because, well, you'll see in a second. You can also set up a flame flinger at 9 o'clock to get, if you snipe out that mortar at 9 o'clock on the left side and set up a flame flinger onto the ricochet cannon, kind of that area, that is good enough value. But here I fireball this multi-gear tower and I miss one of the quigs apparently. There is 2 builder huts nearby, so they repaired it very quickly. I think I did miss the quakes, or I was a little bit too late. But yeah, the CC did not go down, which is huge. And here the warden is kind of stepping towards the flame flinger, which is not great, because now the king is very close to the flame flinger, and he's going to pop the flame flinger by himself. So as soon as I see that happening, I immediately redirect the warden to go to the bottom, because I do not want these yetis to, to pull him. Because as I was saying, like, they survive for quite a while, so they're going to pull him for quite a long time if they do end up pulling him. So here we redirect, we manually deal with the CC, very toxic CC, Rocketloon CC. But here, again, as I was saying in my previous attack, you want to try to funnel the yetis into a certain direction, and here I decide to go for a baby dragon to try to get the yetis into this compartment so that, they can hopefully take out the X-bow. And yeah, at this point, the warden is fairly safe, I think. So I'm starting a hero dive into this compartment. Again, if there was a flame flinger here, you see a couple of Teslas, like, it would have gotten a good chunk of the base down, that whole corner with the ricochet cannon, so that would have been really good value. But yeah, the warden is dealing with the crusher mortar. He's going to go step into the fire spitter range very shortly, so I rage him up, expecting that damage, plus the town hall is going to be shooting him. So yeah, whenever you're keeping an eye out on the hero dive, try to rage the warden. I mean, if necessary. If it's not necessary, then obviously don't do it. But here the rage is good. Invest a second rage because, again, he's fighting now the scatter shot as well. And as soon as I see the scatter shot, I see this small little Tesla farm on the right side, I decide to, help the warden out with the Royal Champ. That's how I usually use the Rocket Spear or the Seeking Shield. This is just whenever I see Tesla farms, like small Tesla farms like that, is justified, in my opinion, to just use the RC right there. But here we're kind of falling short on time, and yep, I really messed that up with the Invis. If I kept the Warden alive, maybe I would have gotten it. But otherwise, like this Flame Flinger setup was very bad. If you see this base, just set up a Flame Flinger on the left side and, do the same Fireball, do the same Hero Dive, and you should be good to go. So next up, we have a double Poison base. This one has a really weird core. It has a lot of damage. It has the Minion Prince, the King, and 2 Poison Spell Towers, as well as Multi-Gear Tower, obviously. So that's a lot of damage, so just have to be a little bit careful. But here I spotted, firstly, I could get the CC. Again, you see very common kind of thinking process of just trying to fireball the CC if you can. And here I could fireball it if I fireball the Fire Spitter. It's 4 tiles separated away from the CC. And also I think the Builder Hut would get it, but it doesn't necessarily matter which target I hit. And secondly, I did spot there was really good Flame Flinger value at 2 o'clock. So again, trying to scout with some Rocketloons for that Flame Flinger. That way you can trigger, whether it's Teslas or, well, just Teslas basically, right? You're scouting for some traps to try to make sure that the Flame Flinger stays alive. Here, double Invis, very easy Fireball, and we're just going to let the Warden choose where he wants to go. I mean, I probably would have liked him to go to the bottom side, to be honest, because he's just going to get more value there, and he's going to stay relatively safe. And he's going to go, well, he would approach from behind the Fire Spitter, which is always something that I look for. But here, the Flame Flinger is going to do its thing. It's going to actually just push him into the base, and here, just have to be a little bit careful that the Yetis in the CC don't pull the Warden like they did in my other attack. But while the Warden is safe, this is like the perfect time to start the Hero Dive. So as soon as he's, chilling up at the top, taking out junk buildings, start your Hero Dive. You're probably going to pop the King very, very shortly to open up that core. And the plan here is to try to go for the Town Hall with the Queen. The Warden is going to do his thing. He'll probably join the Hero Dive later on. But here you see my Hero Dive did go to the bottom side, and I'm trying to funnel them back in, but this NATO also just spins the Queen into, like, more down towards the base. And, well, we're kind of flexible with this approach here. We just gonna switch, to the Warden having to take out the CC. Queen can do whatever she wants. I'm just going to wall break her in, which is really nice wall break because it's going to allow her to get that whole section with the Inferno Tower. And going to rage the Warden, yeah, to just power through all that stuff. Yetis, luckily, as I said, I mean, I try to funnel them with the minion so that they don't go near the Warden, but the Yetis go down, which is good. And we're just going to send in the RC for the remaining section and just hope that the rest of the army overpowers. I do have an Invis as well. And I'm going to save that for whenever I approach this King and the Ricochet Cannon. It does get a little bit close here because of the King. You have to be very careful. I mean, the King and the Minion Prince deals a lot of damage, so you just have to be careful. I just Invis over him just to have the troops ignore him, and yeah, we get a really nice restart. So here we go. We find Gakko, and he was running a double Rage base, which is a base that I built, I think, like two months ago, I believe. This one is a little bit tweaked. This one has the Town Hall reachable for some reason, like with the Queen from the, the second layer of walls, which I did not have. But yeah, slight tweak to this base, and here as usual, fireball one of the rage compartments. That's kind of the go-to. And set up the flame flinger wherever you see. I mean, here, really, really nice flame flinger onto this 10 o'clock section. You get the ricochet cannon. You will get the Crusher Mortar if you just angle the Flame Flinger correctly. And while the Warden, I, I always set up the Flame Flinger while the Warden is, doing his thing on the outside. That's the best time to set it up. And that's the nice thing about having the Sneezy, because it just gives you that much time to set up the Flame Flinger at the very start of the attack. And as soon as he steps into damage, that's when I'm going to start paying attention to him and going to Ice Block in a second right here. And a nice Fireball. I did, yeah, I did spot that Sweeper. I don't know how many of you guys spotted it, but man, I was this close to fireballing the Air Sweeper. I think the Fireball would have, I would have whiffed the Fireball for sure if I didn't spot that. So very sneaky and a well-positioned sweeper, by the way. Like, this sweeper did not blow my healers back, so I did not notice it. So very good positioning of the air sweeper, of the bait, of the fireball baited air sweeper. But yeah, managed to spot it, and as you see, the flame flinger is getting amazing value, and it's gonna hopefully continue down towards or up towards 11, which would be amazing. But again, Warden is safe. We'll start the hero dive, 1 minute 30, so we should be good to go. Wall breaking in, I'll probably wall break the king farther, right here. Yeah, very good. And gonna continue, just watch the Warden, continue with the hero dive, and yeah, the funnel also for the super yetis is, or the super yetis, the yetis from the flame flinger is already set up, so I have them kind of going towards 11 afterwards, after the flame flinger pops out, or after the flame flinger pops and the yetis pop out, is what I'm trying to say. And very, very nice. I mean, looking very good. I mean, still have the queen ability. And at that point, I was thinking, okay, I gotta try to swag the RC if I can. I mean, obviously, it's just gonna be very close. We have 40 seconds left, and that's when I usually send the World Champion. But yeah, here we're just trying our absolute best to try to swag. Just for the thumbnail, I'll see if we get close. I mean, we have a Rage and a Freeze for the multi-gear tower. But 20 seconds though, and there's this king, and yeah, at that point I was like, I chickened out, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I chickened out, and I just sent the RC. I don't think I would have gotten it, but yeah, 3 is a 3, so yeah, let's move on to the next one. So I really want to show this base, because this is just a nightmare base for Fireball into Rocketloons, I feel like. That hook tower in the core is really annoying, and there is not that much fireball value. It always takes ages for the Warden to get to the Inferno Tower, or to fireball the Inferno Tower in the core to take out the hook. But yeah, for this base, for this version of this base, what I found to work well, if you execute it well enough, is fireballing, having the Warden fireball from the right side onto the Town Hall. Now, also, you have to ice block very early, because you want to avoid pulling all of the CC out. And that's what I do here. Fireball the CC and the hook. So that's pretty good value, in my opinion. And just going to let the Warden do his thing. I've also tried to set up flingers next to the CC, but it's not great because it takes a while. And as I said, fireballing the Inferno Tower takes quite a long time for the Warden to get to a position where you can fireball the Inferno, and it also doesn't get that much value as well. That's another thing. So yeah, we're going to try to go for the Town Hall with the Warden. I'm also trying to just kind of trim out outside buildings. That way I can kind of guide him into the Town Hall if possible. And here you'll see I should snipe out the air defense to try to cut off the funnel for him. Decent thing, flame flinger value. I get 2 major defenses out, which is good. And yeah, at this point, I mean, I'm just going to send in the hero dive into this fire spitter. And looks like unfortunately the funnel did not work, and the Warden did go around, which is not great, because this base is tough as it is. And yeah, having him go around and not grab the Town Hall here, he's just chasing the Royal Champion, and unfortunately, we don't get the Town Hall with him. He's kind of going around, my healers are getting hit now. I am just sending in a bunch of rocket balloons, because I know this Town Hall is damaged from the fireball, and there were no builder huts beside it to repair it, so I snipe it out like that. But yeah, here it's pretty tough. I mean, this backhand is very toxic with the minion prince and the king and the monolith and double poison spell towers basically, right? So it's tough. I mean, here I will send the RC from the bottom side. Maybe I should have sent her in from 8 o'clock. I'm not sure, but yeah. Nevertheless, I mean, I'm gonna have her join with the warden, which is not great. I mean, should have frozen here potentially because the warden died and now the RC is not being given that rage aura, and unfortunately we're gonna fall short. But this approach does work, and you have to execute it pretty much perfectly to 3-star. As you see, I did lose the warden, and yeah, I got a little bit unfortunate there with the town hall takedown. But yeah, if you execute this approach, you should be able to get the 3-star. All right, to finish things off, we have another double poison diamond base. This one, you have a CC offset a little bit, and well, this is a common base, and actually, the way I like to attack it is I like to go for the fireball onto the ricochet cannon in the core on the left side, because the CC, you see it's offset a little bit, so you are going to get the CC if you fireball the ricochet cannon. You're obviously not going to get the CC if you fireball the ricochet cannon on the right. And yeah, that's my target for the fireball. Here, I'm setting up a flame flinger on the kind of the right side. I think that's decent enough flame flinger. You snipe out the X-bow, and yeah, you could set up a really nice flame flinger. Could also potentially, snipe out the X-bow at 5 o'clock-ish. It's a symmetrical base, but 5 o'clock you could snipe out the X-bow, the air X-bow, and set up a flame flinger there, but I opt to go for this one. And yeah, the warden is kind of getting into this danger zone, so I should set up the flame flinger here. And I also wall break because I kind of expect my flame flinger to go to the multi-arch tower, and I think if he does not reach over the walls, if I don't wall break the walls, if the flame flinger doesn't reach over the walls, it might not go to the multi-arch tower, which is why I try to wall break there. And hopefully the flame flinger is gonna go to the multi-arch tower after the spitter goes down. Here we're trying to pay attention to the warden because he is stepping into quite a bit of damage. I opt to go for a rage spell, and I think it's a good choice because here we have a fire spitter, we had a headhunter, scatter shot, furnace come out, so justified investment of the rage. Can set up a nice fireball in a second here, triple just to be safe onto that, and earthquake out the CC, very good, and just start the hero dive because it's 1 minute 20, and you don't want to be waiting around for too long. As you see that flame flinger, by the way, like it was shooting the multi-arch tower kind of in the wall, like it was standing in the wall, so I'm not sure if the wall breaker actually made a difference or not, but yeah, here the warden decides to throw. He goes back right into the hero dive, which is annoying. Usually that does not happen. I think sniping out the fire spitter would have made sure that he doesn't do that crap, but he opts to go and join the hero dive. It's fine because we still have some time, but it's going to be a little bit close. Here, the Yetis actually pulled a NATO, which is great. And we're just going to start the RC at the top section so that hopefully everything kind of converges into this monolith. Also using a bunch of Rocketloons to kind of distract the monolith from shooting my RC because it does outrange the rocket spears. So yeah, 20 seconds, still have a lot of the troops still up, which is great, and should be enough to get the 3-star.